the other thing exciting, nothing to do with the book other than the fact that I'm really enjoying the book, but hey guys, so just jumping in a little bit future me here. This is part 2 of my Thrillerathon read-along reading vlog, and if you missed part 1, I will link it down below for you. This is the first time I'm vlogging, so it's definitely like a child walking for her first time, but I'm having fun with it. I posted the first one and you guys were lovely in your response to it, so thank you for that. And we are going to pick up where we left off in the last vlog, so happy watching. Hey guys, happy Friday. I am checking in, obviously, on how things are going. It is another like completely dismal day here with like rain on and off, and it's like super gray and gross outside. But the upside is it's supposed to actually be like upper 60s, lower 70s tomorrow and sunny. So I can live with a day like this if it means we are finally gonna break this nasty humidity, heat wavy, gross thing that's been going on here. But I have been continuing on my rockin' cleaning spree, which feels good. I always feel like such gratification from cleaning. So I was doing that a lot today, and while I was cleaning, I listened to / finished the audiobook for Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. And my initial reaction is it is my least favorite Gillian Flynn book. So it's, first I read Gone Girl, then I read Sharp Objects, then I read The Grown Up, and then I read this over the course like since 2012 or 2013, mind you. So you guys know I'm like a huge Gillian Flynn fan, and she writes dark and creepy and like horrible, unlikable characters who make bad choices and do terrible things and say horrible things, and like you're not supposed to like them, but at the same time I completely loved Amy and Nick Dunn and kind of the surrounding cast of characters from Gone Girl, and I really loved Camille Preaker from Sharp Objects, and I love her messed up mother, and I love her messed up little sister. And I had a very hard time getting into any of the characters in this book. So like Libby Day is our main character, and I just, like, I didn't really like her. And like, I know you're not supposed to totally like her or anything, but I had a very hard time connecting with any of the characters, and not that I connect with characters in Gillian Flynn's books in the way that like I can necessarily relate to them, because like I said, they're all like kind of horrible people in a lot of ways. But I had a very hard time, I would say, like getting into this book the same way I got into the other ones. So without getting like too much into it, basically she, you know, has sort of stood by her story and all of these years, but she is challenged by this group of people who believe that she's wrong and her brother's innocent, and she winds up kind of delving back into her past for the first time, which she has kept very successfully buried for a long time. So conceptually I really enjoy it, and we get Libby's perspective in the present day, and then sort of in the days leading up to the murder / massacre, we get her mom's perspective and her brother Ben's. And you guys know I love multiple point of views, and I really enjoyed seeing sort of the, I wouldn't even call it transformation, because we're just getting like a couple days with Ben and her mom in the past, but sort of seeing the evolution of what happened over those days that led to everybody dying. So it was very interesting, but I also felt like the beginning of the book, there was like too much stuff. Like I feel like it was a little bit too long. So it's like 400, like just over 400 pages. I feel like it could have been tighter at the beginning, because kind of once things got rolling, it was great. But I felt like there was like, I don't know, I felt like I kind of was like plodding through a little bit of the beginning where there wasn't as much, not that it needed to be like action per se, but I felt like it was a slower burn story, which isn't a bad thing. And I like me a slow burn sometimes, but I felt like it was a little like too much. Like I kind of wanted to be like let's get going with this here. So I listened to it over the course of a couple days. I did enjoy aspects of the story. I love her writing. You know, I love her atmospheric dark characters. I love sort of the dark places that she goes, and that's no pun intended. I didn't mean it like that. But I do love her exploration of darkness in all of her books. So there was a lot that I liked, and without, one thing that I didn't enjoy, which I can't really say too much about because it's going to get involved in spoilers, but basically there was like one aspect of the book that I just didn't enjoy, sort of one of the, not even like plot lines, but like themes maybe, or things that somebody was into. So super cryptic, but anyway, I'm glad I read it. I love her books. I'm a big fan of hers. I will continue to pick up anything that she reads, writes. So hopefully she will write something new really soon, but I'm glad I read it. It fulfilled it's been on my TBR for way too long, / an author who I have read before, and then also fills like a tropes I like, but other books have filled that one too. So anyway, third book, Thrillerathon, done. I have started Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I'm only like 50 pages into it, but so far I am like hooked. I love her writing. I'm very excited to see where this goes. And then I also I wound up getting the audiobook of The Good Daughter from my library. So I kind of like was only half paying attention when I put something on hold, but apparently that had the shorter hold time because I went back and looked, and the physical book is like a 16-week lead time. So either way, I started listening to that. I want to say I'm maybe like 15% in. It's like an 18-hour audiobook, and this is my first Karen Slaughter. I know that she gets super dark and gritty. I have, I think, expectations in a decent place, but this book starts really rough. So this is definitely not a book that I will be listening to before bed. This is going to be a daytime, it's light outside kind of a book. It's rough so far. It's rough so far. So I'm intrigued. Charlie is our main character. I am with her. I am enjoying her so far, as much as I can say that I am enjoying what's happening in this book. I'm curious, again, super early on in the book. So basically it is when Charlie is, I think she's like 12 or 13 when the book opens. So like there's a tragedy that strikes her family when she's younger, and now we pick up like 20 years later, or like 25 years later or something also. So so we're sort of just in present day, something else has just happened. So I will keep it kind of vague for that. But what I realized as I'm like reading these books, so Girls Like Us, our protagonist her mom was murdered when she was 7 years old, and she gives testimony that impacts that case. Then in Dark Places, Libby is 7 years old when her family is murdered, and she gives testimony that puts her brother in jail, that people start to questioned it at the time, question it in the present, and she's questioning things herself. And now I don't know where The Good Daughter is going, but Charlie was a young teen. I think she was like 12 or 13 when it starts. And I suspect, just based on the blurb, which says like the secrets about what happened then are going to come out, that there's going to be some doubt maybe about what she says happened back then. So I completely, not even on purpose, I'm reading all of these books that seem to have this very similar thing going on in them, but enjoying everything so far, having a very fun time with Thrillerathon. Dang, I keep doing that, Thrillerathon. So another non-book related exciting thing that happened today is my Sephora package showed up. So if anyone else is a beauty junkie like me, maybe you shopped the Sephora sale. And I will say I exerted what I feel like is a fair amount of self-control, because I could certainly fill my Sephora basket as easily as I could fill a book basket. And I did, and then I took a whole bunch of stuff out. But they're having this random summer sale where you get 20% off your stuff. So hello. Usually they do this in November. So I feel like because I knew another one is coming in November, I also felt like I could like, anything I didn't get this time, maybe I'll get then. But if anyone's a beauty junkie like I am, I thought I would just take a few minutes and talk beauty. So the first thing I got is this Caudalie face serum. So it's the SOS Thirst Quenching Serum for dehydration relief. So I have dry skin, and that's not a lot of fun. So this has hyaluronic acid in it, which is sort of all things amazing. I was watching this segment with Courtney Hart, who is a makeup artist, and she was doing sort of like a quick makeup routine. So this you put on morning and night underneath your moisturizer. It'll help keep your face hydrated. It is the key. It'll do more for you. Face oil will help lock it in, but this is kind of like one of the most important ingredients for hydration. So love it. Even in the humid, gross summer, I still suffer. And then the next thing I got, this is already falling apart, is by Nude Sticks. And this is also something that Courtney Hart recommended. So you can see what a sucker I am. You know, I watch one beauty routine and I'm like buying stuff. So this is a cream blush. I don't know if you can see the color that well. It's called Cherry Blossom Babe. And this, I believe, and it's got like a nice little brush on it. Look at me being a beauty YouTuber. See why I'm not a beauty YouTuber. So you can use this on your cheeks. It says you can use it on your eyelids, but I feel like that's not really gonna look good on your eyes. And you can use it on your lips. So here's a semi 3-in-1 kind of excitement. But I have read many a times that as your skin matures, that cream products are good, whereas powder can settle into those areas you don't want to settle into. So I'm gonna give that a go. Since I am starting my job next week and I'm going to have to go back to getting up early so I can commute into the city and all that unfun stuff, I got this Becca anti-fatigue under eye primer. So it's supposed to help with bags under your eyes. So again, I'm like a product person's dream. I'm like, yes, tell me that this is going to make it look good and I am your girl. So you're supposed to tap this on under your eye before you conceal and correct. So hopefully that will help with what is bound to be the bags under my eyes when my alarm screeches at an obnoxious hour come Monday morning. And then I got some shampoo. So again, not crazy. A girl needs to wash her hair. So I'm trying this Olaplex shampoo. Is this gonna work? There we go. So I have not tried Olaplex before, but I've heard great things about it. And it's supposed to help with strengthening and hydrating. Despite my best intentions, I have dry hair, despite cutting it, despite trying to take good care of it. It's just the nature of the beast. So I got the shampoo and I got the conditioner, Bond Maintenance. Is it gonna focus? If anyone's interested. So I'm very excited about this, but I've heard good things about it. I consulted with another beauty junkie friend of mine. It's sealed, so I can't smell it. And she said to go for it. So I'm one of those people who, I bought one of those like jumbo size, like salon size shampoos a long time ago because it was on sale through Ulta. And apparently shampoo can go bad just like anything else can after it's been open for too long. Again, maybe I'm just like a junkie's dream, but I was near the end of it, so I needed something new, and that's what I did. I didn't do any free samples because they kind of were crap this time around, but that's what I got, so hooray for Sephora. I almost forgot. I actually also did snag 2 ebooks. You guys know that I have talked about how I get those emails from like iBooks, from Amazon, and from Book Riot I get, and then blanking on the name of it. I'll write it down below. Where I get these daily emails about ebooks that are on sale and like new releases and all this other kind of stuff. And I got I Know You Know by Jillian McMillan, which has been on my list of books that I want to read for a while now. So I got the ebook of that, was $1.99, and then I need to buy, because I just saw it, The Broken Girls by Simone St. James, I want to say it's called. I'll pop a picture of it in here. This has also been on my list for a while. I was just watching Tia and All the Books just did a video about upcoming releases of books, like thrillers that are coming out over the next 6 months, and Simone St. James has a new book coming out, and she talked about The Broken Girls, and I knew that that was on my list. It's also $1.99 right now. And I have iTunes money through my Amex, where you can buy iTunes online gift cards. So technically, even though I had to like spend money to get the points to buy the gift card, I didn't pay anything for the books. So look at this rationalization happening like wildfire. But yes, 2 more thrillers in my iPad, which is perfect because commuting on the train, you don't want to carry a hardcover book. So now there's an excuse for buying 2 more books. And this is one of the August picks, and this is Here to Stay by Mark Edwards. Hey guys, what's going on? So suddenly this hat looks really crooked and these glasses look super crooked, but I am out running errands. It is literally the first nice day we have had easily since before I went to California, for sure since I've been back from California. But I just came into town, tried to do some errands, a couple things I didn't get done, a couple things I still need to get done, but basically I'm just basking in the fact that it's a beautiful day outside. So it's Saturday morning. It's kind of loud out here, so I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm giving it a go. I read a little of Turn of the Key this morning. I'm still loving it. I'm like almost 100 pages in, and I have not picked up The Good Daughter again. I don't know, maybe I'm like 100 pages into that also. It's a super long book. It's like 500 something pages, but I'm doing the audiobook. And it figured out, I had talked about it quickly yesterday, the first scene, which is a really, really long chapter, not in content, but in tension and uncomfortableness, totally reminds me of the first scene of A Time to Kill by John Grisham, which is a very harrowing, very horrible opening to a book that sets the premise for the entire story. And I think it's the same deal with The Good Daughter. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way that I'm super comfortable, and I'm just not. It was a lot. It was a very difficult first chapter, which I understand, but I am so far enjoying Charlie still, who is our protagonist, and I am down for the rest of the ride. I'm really enjoying Karen Slaughter's writing, and I'm loving the narrator on the audiobook so far. So all things being equal, it is all good stuff. And I'm going to keep doing my errands, keep going for a walk, and then I think I'm actually going to sit on the porch for the first time in months, which is insane because summer here has been crap. So I am going to keep going on my way. Maybe I'll check in again before I go home. If not, I will for sure check in with you guys later. So bye everybody. Like almost 5 o'clock here. I just wanted to do a super quick check-in. I was able to definitely clock a little bit of time out on the porch reading today, which was wonderful. And I was reading, I almost said The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I was reading Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. So I'm like 40% into the book, I would say, and I'm loving it. It's going at such a quick clip. Basically, I want to just like stop doing everything I need to be doing so I can read this, but I'm also trying to be a good girl and do all of my chores and all that stuff, and also take advantage of the fact that it is the first beautiful day that we have had in a dog's age here. So I have been outside, I've been cleaning, I've been doing my chores, I've been doing all my stuff, and got a little bit of reading in. So I am going to kind of keep on the path I'm on and then dive back into the book later tonight. I listened super quickly to a little bit of The Good Daughter. I'll be honest, I was listening to Taylor Swift's new album. I'm not like a huge, like I like Taylor Swift, don't get me wrong, so let me just start with that, but I'm not like waiting up till midnight, can't wait to hear like the record drop kind of a Taylor Swift fan. But I was super surprised to see that it was free on Apple Music, so I was listening to that while I was cleaning, and I like some of it. You can definitely feel like some top 40, top 10, #1 hit vibes with some of the songs. I will say I am mostly a fan of the faster ones. The first song, which is, what is it like I Forget You or I've Forgotten You or something like that. That one I really like. Completely catchy, and I do like the title track Lover. It's growing on me. I didn't really like it the first time I listened to it, but the more I listen to it, the more I'm enjoying it. So I actually spent my cleaning time listening to Taylor instead of listening to my audiobook, but whatevs, it's all good things. So that is kind of where I'm at right now, and I will check back in with you guys later with more updates about what's going on. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. It is like 5-ish on Sunday afternoon. The day has completely gotten away from me. As seems to be the case these days, it's another beautiful day. I was outside again. I took another fabulous walk, and for the first time ever, I actually listened to my audiobook while I was walking. Usually I listen to music and that like fuels me forward and it's like my time to shut out the world, but I have been listening to The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter and I am loving it, and I did not want to miss out on any possible time that I could listen to it. So I'll give you the update on that one first. So I am at this stage like 70% into the book. I have been listening to this as much as humanly possible today, and I'm prepping for my first day at my new job tomorrow. I'm in like half denial and half like anxiety. There's nothing worse than being the new person. Like, I don't know what anybody's name is gonna be. I don't know where the bathroom is. I don't know where my desk is. I don't have a computer yet, like anything. Like I would love to be able to fast forward to 6 months into the job, but I can't. So I've been doing like prep stuff and food prep, and I did my nails, and you know, I'm trying to figure out what I want to wear, and I'm packing my bag. So basically I have been doing lots of stuff that has allowed me to listen to The Good Daughter all day today, and it's going to be a super hard book to talk about without spoiling anything. So what I will say is that I'm completely enjoying it. I think you guys know this is the first Karen Slaughter book that I have read after years and years of hearing about how amazing she is and seeing her at conferences and reading interviews with her. And I'm so glad I started with this book because I'm totally loving it. It's a standalone, which is great. I am loving our main character, Charlie. So Charlie is, she's an attorney. She works kind of with her dad, but not with her dad, but they're in the same office. They're in this small town in Georgia. And without kind of giving too much away about any of the story, as a child, her and her sister and her mom were victims of a very violent crime, which has obviously impacted Charlie going forward. Their father was not home at the time. And we sort of open with that scene, and then we fast forward to now she's like 41 years old, I want to say. And she very much happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when another tragedy strikes. And she is pulled into it. Her dad is there, this extended cast of characters. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to give anything away. There have been some twists so far that have been good. There have been some reveals that have been really good. Like I said, I'm really enjoying the characters. I am completely enjoying the writing. Karen Slaughter, this is no surprise to me because I have seen her talk, and her turn of phrase is great. Her descriptions are great. Her references to things are great. There is definitely kind of like some dark humor to some dark situations happening. Like dark situations are happening in this, but there's some dark humor to this. I think the way Charlie is impacted from what happened to her as a child is so well done so far. Broken people, but there's clearly love between people in this book. There is just such humanity to it, and humanity to these characters. I think they just feel so incredibly real to me. So I'm loving this. I can't imagine where it's going to go, but I'm very interested to find out. So I am thrilled that this came through my library, and I'm just going to continue to listen to it over the next few days on my commute and at night, and I will let you guys know what happens when I finish it. I don't think I'm going to finish it in time for the end of Thrillerathon though. Sorry about that. I had to change my battery again. I don't know if anybody else has the Canon G7X, but like this camera does not hold a battery life to save its life when you're filming videos, or maybe I just talk too much. So again, my angle is different, that's why. But I have also been reading Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I am probably like halfway through, maybe like just a smidge more than halfway through with this. And I'm also loving this book. So it's like such a struggle trying to juggle the two books because I desperately want to read both of them. But this has been also very tricky to talk about because I don't want to give anything away because it's a thriller. But I don't want to say it's been a pleasant surprise because I really enjoy Ruth Ware anyway. I have enjoyed all of her books, but it was a pleasant surprise to see something a little different. So I don't know if it's just the story. I don't know if her writing is more succinct. I don't know if it's just moving at a different clip. I don't know if it's the style. It's written in a letter format, but at the same time, you kind of forget it's written in a letter format because it's not like Evidence of the Affair where like every page is a new letter, but maybe it's the conversational style of it where Rowan is telling the story. But whatever it is completely working for me. I am enjoying the story. I am finding kind of the very subtle suspense and tension. I am enjoying the unfolding of it. She is a nanny for these 3 kids. The kids are such brats. I have like such sympathy for this lady. These kids are really like putting her through the ringer, but I'm very curious to see where it's going. It's kind of like I say, like slowly unfolding. And while this is not in any way storyline-ish, this doesn't give anything away. So she is a nanny at this kind of I don't want to say like a manor, but like it's this like major home in the Scottish Highlands. It is isolated from everything, but it's just sort of this huge grounds. There is a woman who comes in like a couple times a day who like does the dishes and does the cleaning, and then there is this guy who lives in the back house who sort of takes care of like the anything and everything. He's like the jack of all trades kind of a guy, and he very much kind of like is helping Rowan. She's sort of fumbling to find her way, and there's something about it, and this might sound totally weird, and I don't know if anybody else who has read this book had this feeling, but Rowan and crap, I'm blanking on what his name is. Sorry, Jack. So Rowan and Jack have formed a friendship. So they both work for the family, and they just sort of, you know, like work together on some things, and he's helping her out. But in some weird, subtle way, it reminds me of the friendship between Offred and Nick in The Handmaid's Tale. Anyone? Just me? Anyone? So it's not about like, there's no Handmaid's Tale in this at all. She's not like a nanny who is there to like procreate with the husband. There's like none of that kind of stuff going on. Nothing salacious happening. I mean, not yet. I don't know. I'm only halfway through. But like, it's nothing about it other than just sort of the befriending of these two people and sort of their chemistry and their connection and their friendship. So at times I am imagining Elizabeth Moss and... So help me, I can't remember the name of the guy who plays Nick in the Hulu movie, but I am picturing the two of them at times in these scenes. So anyway, and my plan at this stage is to fully check in with you guys tomorrow when I get home from work. Help us all. But in the off chance, or in the realistically off chance that I don't check in tomorrow night because I am just fried or like out of my gourd or something like that, I will do a little bit of a sign off here just in case as a backup. Thank you guys for watching this. If you participated in Thrillerathon, I hope you guys had a great time. I would love to know what your favorite book was that you read, anything about any of these books. If all goes well, like I said, I don't think I'm going to finish both of these books by end of day tomorrow, but I will finish them within the days after if I don't. So all in, super successful final readathon for me, readathon for me before the new world begins. But thank you guys as always for watching and hanging out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody.